nothing could be more fitting than focus on the community than what this group does. Exactly, this group is called upon to go into communities, not only locally, but nationally and internationally and throughout the state. So again, we thank you for your opportunity to come visit with our team and get a first-hand look at what some of these folks do and what they can perform and their capabilities are. We're very blessed and fortunate here in Fairfax County to have this as a resource, and today you'll get an opportunity to see firsthand some of the capabilities and the work that these folks do.
Let me just give you just a brief history of where Urban Search and Rescue came from. It basically started with the United States Agency of International Development, Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance, through the State Department after the 1985 earthquake in Mexico City, which was a devastating earthquake. During our 22 years of existence, we've had 42 missions, 17 of those being international and 25 of those being domestic. So when I really went back and looked in the history, I just couldn't believe it had been that many responses that we've been involved in that length of time. We have approximately 200 members. There are 28 teams throughout the United States that are just like this team that are federally funded. They're comprised normally of firefighters, and our team specifically is about 75% firefighters. We've worked very closely with Virginia Task Force 2, and like any good firefighter, we have a rivalry with them, calling them our farm team, but it's all done in fun. But we've been honored to work and train with them. We were working side by side with them in the two largest domestic disasters this country has seen on our soil, 9/11 Pentagon and the Oklahoma City bombing back in 1995. But I just do want to point out that we're not just a federal asset, as a lot of people think that we are. We are a state asset, and we are a local asset. And with that, I'd like to say thank you and introduce Secretary Marshall.
I had occasion twice to be here on site as this task force prepared to deploy to our Gulf states for hurricane response. And I was impressed each time with their equipment, their skills, their training, but I was equally impressed by their commitment to their mission and how quickly they wanted to get where they were needed. But I ask that as you view these demonstrations, please keep in mind that even with the best of equipment that they have, the technology, the skill, and the training that they've received, ultimately what it takes to carry out their mission, and that's to save lives, it takes one characteristic that's possessed by all the members of this task force, and it's possessed by all of our firefighters, and that's courage. A special kind of courage, the kind of courage that it takes literally to run in the direction that others are running from. It's now my privilege to introduce a leader who not only has been an advocate throughout his career as an elected official for public safety. He's a leader who not only cares about the mission of public safety, not only cares about firefighting, he deeply and sincerely cares about all of our firefighters and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, the 70th Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Honorable Timothy M. King.
Thank you all very much. John, thank you for the introduction and the chance to be with you. This is something that we've really been looking forward to. For those who are the firefighters or who are gathered here with us, we do cabinet community days 4 days a year. We'll go out to different regions of the state. I have the whole cabinet with me, and we go to do different events where we can learn about local priorities and needs, where we can tell folks who we are so that if folks have issues that they want to raise with state government, they can put a face to a name. But we also come to shine a spotlight on things that are good about government, local government or state government. And people need to realize that what government does every day is things that are very small and things that are very huge, but all to try to serve citizens. Fairfax has a superb reputation of being a very well-managed county government. Received recognition as one of the best managed counties in the United States. Virginia has received recognition as one of the top performing state governments in the United States. We care about service. We want to make sure those tax dollars that are coming in are actually really producing value for people. And so one of the things that made us excited about coming to be with you today is we want to learn, but we also want to shine a spotlight so that citizens understand how important these government services are. And the work that firefighters do, you know, fighting fires, but in Richmond, as in so many other communities, the first responder to every kind of emergency call. is firefighters. This search and rescue unit, as was indicated, has folks from other professions, but 3/4 of this unit is firefighters, and virtually all of the units that do this similar work have a similar proportion. So firefighters are every day showing that courage and being willing to do really amazing things. And the fact that the citizens of Fairfax support this unit, the unit which not only keeps them safe, but can stand to serve people all over this country and all over this world, is a real tribute to priorities of this region. So I want to say thank you for your great service. We're excited to learn, glad to be with you today. And I want to thank Chuck Caputo especially for coming and being part of this. Chuck, we're glad to have you with us. And Chief, with that, I think we'll stand back and watch your guys do their great work.
Okay, just about everyone?
Yep.
Very well. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bob Zaldis. I'm a battalion chief here in Special Operations, and I'm a task force leader on the Urban Search and Rescue team. I'll be your tour guide for the day. So first thing I wanted to show you was our base of operations. Everywhere we ever deploy to, we set up a base of operations. We refer to it as the buoy. Once the buoy is set up, it allows us to project that rescue power to anywhere in the region. But it's a place where we'll stockpile equipment, medical supplies, and it really will be our home away from home, as it were. We typically have a plans officer assigned inside. The plans officer really looks forward, downrange, if you will, all the different things we're going to have to do on the rescue mission. He's established a safety plan for Hurricane Ike. A lot of the documents you're going to see are from Hurricane Ike. It's our last deployment where we were really engaged. It'll establish what we're going to wear, how we're going to be tracking our people, how we rehab our people, and so forth to make sure our people are safe. Around the tent, around the rest of it, our communication devices, our communication specialist is working right now on setting up the satellite repeater system. He already has a satellite phone next to it, set up, ready to go. So it allows us really seamless communication anywhere we're at. Once the satellite's set up, we can speak to almost anyone, and the repeater allows us real good tactical communications between all of our units. Take care of patients. But the real reason we're here to take care of our people is to make sure that we're putting healthy people in the environment, and we get them done, we can keep them healthy. But also we have the capability to have multiple times overseas taking care of either victims that we've rescued or locals that have come in and sort of help. The one thing, and I think the pictures from us in Turkey show it, is that we'll establish an area, and then that was where everyone goes for aid, food, and
very good So we're prepared as soon as their access to the space is stabilized to do an assessment and essentially do everything we do in the emergency department. And actually we can expedite them out because we can give them pretty significant pain medications. We can splint them. We've got crack paramedics who can do just about anything from mobilizations. And several of our executions have actually been expedited because we got them out without having to.
Structure specialist and the hazmat specialist check it off as an okay building to search. We're going to send our canine search in. Our canine specialist and her dog are going to search the building. Their job is to detect somebody there. Not necessarily find them, but to detect that somebody's probably in that structure. The dog right now is signaling that we have a detection, that the dog wants to go in the building. Another step in detection is to drop he's going to do a Haitian search. This is a DELSAR unit. It's a seismic listening device. And what it does is it actually identifies the building. It's often rumored to be able to hear heartbeats and all, but unless you drop it on someone's chest, probably not going to hear that. But any scratching, breathing, any tapping, yelling, anything inside the building of a victim that is conscious and alert, we'll easily hear, and most of the time we'll hear unconscious people as well.
As the rescuers remove the concrete, they're going to pivot it to the side and make entry into the structure. On the far left side, we have torch work going on where we're cutting into some metal to make entry over there. And our rescuers in the middle are forming up a shore. It's called a raker shore that actually holds the building safely in place so that we can make entry. We're going to be here for another minute or so while the rescuers make entry. We're going to finish the shore and we're going to finish some of the cut on the far left side.
What you see on the right-hand side in the big TV is what the rescuer is seeing right now. He has the same little screen on his camera, and his job is now, we've detected that the victim is inside. We now need to locate the victim. That's his job. Right here we have a rescue specialist, a medical specialist, and one of our emergency physicians on site. And they're going to be taking care of this patient, starting to package the patient in a way that we can move them out of the structure. We have found out that as technical rescue and urban search and rescue have developed into more of a science from ours, that in the old days you would just yank the person out, but we've learned that all the different syndromes, the crush syndrome, can really put a real hurting on the body, and once that pressure is relieved, it sort of causes a shock to the person, and it's very hard to recover from.
They die from
And they die from it pretty quickly. It's called the smiling death because they'll come out and they'll thank us for our job and then collapse right there and die. You can see through here, one of the things we try to do is keep the camera on the victim, because if there's only one or two people in this space, we'll try to have somebody out there who can actually monitor it. Do we need additional rescue specialists? And then they can call out to command what's going on.
Right. You look right here, left to right is the topper. That will angle the head right and left.
Okay.
It's powered and it will extend out. So we can...
Okay, I got you.
Now you're looking at what the governor's seeing on his screen as well. Out front here, what we're trying to show is an ability of an urban search and rescue team to remove someone via highline operation, which is a 3-line highline system, 2 lines that are trolley lines, that's what carries the weight, and then 1 that belays them on the way down. As they do this, we're going to have an attendant with them as well. He's going to actually take care of the patient on the way down. 1, it's a very calming thing for our patients, but 2, it allows us to manage airways, take care of any injuries, and also protect them if there's trees and all as they go down. So, the other 2 carry the weight. This is a very stressful position for rope to be on because they're taking the stress from 2 different angles. Like the rope's meant to be pulled, but not ultimate stress. So that's why it's double. We always do 1 line per person. It's a pretty good safety factor. About 36 hours in, so we lost a lot of